Good morning, students. Today I am doing physical map of India and its map pointing skills and guidelines at ICSE level. It's applicable from class 6 to class 10. This is the content of physical map of India. You can see there are mountains, peaks and plateaus, even plains, even desert, even rivers, water bodies, passes, latitudes and longitudes to acquaint you and help you understand what and how to level and mark these names on a outline map of India or a blank map of India. Now let us look at the blank map of India. If you look at the blank map of India, this is the outline map of India that you get in your examinations. And by looking at these names or the content of the map, you are going to level it. So how you are going to level it, you are going to study today. Now let us look at this map. There are certain guidelines on how to mark and level it. Okay. Now mountains and peaks are always colored with black pencil. So we use black pencil to level it as well as mark it. And plateaus brown pencil. And they are to be marked in a single line. And even you have to know the direction of the mountains. That has to be kept in mind. No mountain is to be marked when intersecting with a river. So no mountain to be marked intersecting with a river. Let's look at this example. Let's look at Himalayas here. If you look at the Himalayas, I have marked with a pencil here. And you can see there are dash lines which do not cross the rivers here. You can see Yamuna river here, Ganga river here, Gomti river here. So these rivers are not touched by these lines. It goes all the way up till here. So these lines basically means the Himalayas, which is marked in the outline map of India. So let us look at the mountains, peaks and plateaus. Now we have done Himalayas. Now we are going to do Karakoram range and Karakoram pass. Now where is the Karakoram range and pass? Now look at the Karakoram range. It's also called a mountain. Now you can see there is a line marked here which does not touch this river line, that is called the Indus, nor it touches the boundary of India. So it is in between. So this line means it is a Karakoram range. Now if you look at this bracket here, now I want to tell you something about the bracket. Now passes, these brackets means pass or passes. Passes are to be marked using the symbol bracket. This kind of bridge which can be marked with a red color. And this bracket means it is a Karakoram pass. Now you can see there is a pyramid there. Small pyramid is like that. This pyramid is a mountain range. It's a mountain range, and these mountains are to be marked with a black pencil, and you can see it is known as Mount Godwin Austen, and it is also called by the name K2. Now we are moving a little bit on this side. Now you can see, if you come near this Kosi river, this is the Kosi river. Now if you look here, there is a triangle. This kind of triangle is made on this line. This triangle is colored in black pencil, with black pencil, and it is marked as Kanchenjunga with a proper use of arrow. So now you can see there is a bridge here, there are bracket here, which also states it's a Nathula Pass, and Nathula Pass is marked on this edge. Now we are moving on to the Vindhyas. Now, if you look at the Vindhyas, there is a line here. It neither touches the river or the upper river. So you can see it does not touch both the rivers. The line is in drawn in between. I have not touched the rivers or intersected the rivers or okay, what we call cross the rivers or made an X there. So you can see I have written name Vindhyas also, okay, in a particular manner. I have VIN this side and the HYAS on this side. You can see I have broken the words into three. I have not touched the rivers, okay, when I am marking the Vindhyas. So this line basically means Vindhyas. Below the Vindhyas you have Satpuras, okay. Below the Vindhyas you have Satpuras. Now you can see it is between, this Satpura is between the Narmada and Tapti river. This is two rivers, okay. Basically two rivers are there, okay, which are basically, okay, basically found on this, okay, southernmost side. So in between I have drawn a line and I have written Satpura without touching the rivers. Now you can see here, this point is very important, okay. You have to see here. Now if you draw like this kind of line, it comes like this way. It comes like this way. You can see here, it comes like this way. If I draw a single line like this way also, you can see here, this is known as Aravalis. I have made a bolder line here to represent Aravali. So this is the Aravali range. I have done Vindhyas, I have done Satpuras, okay. Now let's come this side. Now you can see there is a this kind of arm here. Now I have marked with a dash. There are three dashes there, and on top of the dash I have written GKJ. This is known as Garo, Khasi and Jaintia Hill. So to write these names I have written here, okay, in a what we call a legend. This is called a legend or a key, okay, in a map work. So you have done this. So I have written here GKZ. This is known as Garo, Khasi, Jaintia Hills. So Garo, Khasi, Jaintia Hills is found in this particular area. Now, a little bit down, okay, we are moving on to the Deccan Plateau area. Now let's look at this river. This river, if you find this river, can you find this river? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Third most river from the bottom. Third most river from the bottom. 1, 2, 3. So the third river, if you see this river is known as Godavari or Dakshin Ganga. So you can see a point here. I have made a point here. So I have made a parallel point here. If you look at the parallel point, if I mark it with a ruler, you can see there is a parallel point here. Now here also, this river is there. This river that time only I told you, that is Narmada. This is Tapti. So I have made a point here. And this point comes parallel like this way. If you look at here, this point, it comes parallel like this way. You have to mark a point here. And you have to mark a point near the Kaveri river. This river is known as Kaveri. The first river that is from the bottom is known as Kaveri river. Okay, so this is the bottom point. Okay, now you have to attach all this, okay, dots into one single line. Dots into one single line to make a Deccan Plateau. This is known as a Deccan, Plateau plateau area. Okay, now we are moving on to the Indo-Gangetic plains. Now when you are marking the plains should be marked, okay, basically appropriately with pencil, or you can use a yellow color also, but according to the ICSE rule, okay, pencil will be more appropriate. So the extent of the plane should not exceed the limit. The limit of the plane should not exceed outside. Remember that. So if you look at this plane, okay, it starts from here and it joins here in this line. If you look here, it joins from here to here and it goes all the way here up till here. Okay, and this line, where do you find this line? Near the Thar desert. Near the Thar desert. So you can see this, there is a little bit of bump here. Okay, from here I have marked this river like this way, and it has joined here. This river is known as the Sun, okay, Sun River, okay, and it comes all the way, okay, to the what we call Damodar River. This is known as the river looks like this way. This river looks like this way. If you see the river, this river looks like this way. Up till here I have marked this plain. This plain area is known as the Indo-Gangetic Plains, and this plain should not exceed, okay, beyond that. So it should not come up till here, okay, it should be within this area, and it should be marked with a pencil, okay. So you can shade the area. Now below this plain you find C and P. Near the mouth of the river, you find the C and P. This river is Damodar River. So C and P means, okay, let's look at the legend. It means Chota Nagpur Plateau. It means Chota Nagpur Plateau. Now let us look at the coastal plains or coastal areas. Now, when you are marking the coastal plain areas, it should not be marked inside the coast. Now, this is known as the coast. This is known as the coast. And this coastal plain should not be marked inside the land, but bracketed like this way. So a bracket has to be used to level and mark the coast within the limits. Now let's look at these rivers, okay. Now you have to understand these rivers. Now this is Kaveri River. This is basically Kaveri, okay, Tungabhadra, Krishna, Godavari, Damodar, Mahanadi, Damodar, and this is known as Brahmaputra. Now, if you look at this Mahanadi river, this looks like this way. That is kind of river is that. This is Mahanadi. From this point to this point, not this point, not this point. It looks like this way, but this point we are using. So this point should be marked, okay. From here, we make a bracket here and mark Northern Sircar, okay. It is marked Northern Sircar. Now, we are looking at the 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and 3rd river. 4 and 3rd river from the bottom. This 4 and 3rd river basically has Northern Sircar. The 2nd and 1st river from the south, basically Kaveri and Krishna river, or this is known as Tungabhadra, this is known as Krishna. This river. So it starts from here, this point, and ends here. So this area should be bracketed with, okay, a bracket which is marked as Coromandel Coast. Now, if you look here, you also have made a point at the tip of the, okay, what we call Kanyakumari, okay. Here I have made, okay, a point here, a dash. From this dash I have made a bracket, but where I have made a bracket, okay, where the two rivers meets. Where are the two rivers meeting? This river and this river is meeting point is here. So I have made a dash, like this kind of dash I have made it. So in order to level, okay, the bracket. So this bracket ends here. This bracket where it ends, this up till here is the Malabar coast. Now, the 2nd river is also like that. It starts from here, from this point. From this point, it starts from here and ends here. Now, I have to level it. Now, the two rivers meeting point. Can you find the two rivers meeting point? Two rivers meeting point from here to here is known as Kannada coast. From here till this point is known as Konkan coast. So I have bracketed outside the land. Now we are moving on to, okay, the Western and Eastern Ghats. Now, whenever you are marking the Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats should not be marked between river Krishna and Godavari. Now, which is the Krishna river? This is the Krishna river. This is the Godavari river. This river is known as Kaveri. Kaveri, Krishna, Godavari. This is known as Tungabhadra river. So this Eastern Ghats should not touch the rivers, it means. Okay. So I have made a line here. I have made a line here, but in between I don't have a line. I have written Eastern, word Eastern on this side and Ghats on this side. You can see here. So I have neither touched the coast, neither touched the river. You should not touch it, otherwise your map will not fetch marks. Now Western Ghats must not touch the coastline also. On the other hand, if you look at the Western Ghats also, I have drawn a line, but it neither touches the coast nor the rivers. Can you see? It hasn't touched the rivers. The same is applicable with the Eastern Ghats. So here I have written West, ERN here without touching the rivers, and Ghats out here. Can you see that? So I have drawn a line without touching this coast. This is the proper way of doing, okay, what we call, okay, map pointing skills. Okay, and here I have made a what we call arc here. This arc represents Nilgiri Hills. This arc represents Nilgiri Hills. Now the last one, this area where I marked it, this area is known as the Thar Desert or the Great Indian Desert. Now this is the second map, that is called the water bodies. Now if you look here, I have marked it with a pencil. So to be on the safer side, use pencil. So I have colored with a pencil. I made a circle here, okay, and I have marked with an arrow. Use of arrow I have done, okay, by marking it Hular Lake. Now these words I have written are all written in capital letters. Please note that the labeling should be done in capital letters, preferably using the arrows in all the map work. Now if you look here, if you come this side on the west side, you find here at this point I have marked Gulf of Kutch, and here I have marked Gulf of Khambat at the mouth. Okay, so how to remember Gulf of Kutch and Khambat and not mix up is by the word Kuch to kar Khambhat. So Kuch to kar Khambhat. So Gulf of Kutch and Gulf of Khambat. Okay, now let's come down at the bottom. Here is another gulf that is called the Gulf of Mannar. So it is found at this side. So this side, okay, this side is Gulf of Mannar. This side is Gulf of Mannar. So you can see from the tip, okay, here from this side. From this side, it is Gulf of Mannar. From this side, it is Park Strait. I have marked with a pencil. Now, let's go to this side. Now, I have marked this with a circle, a proper boundary, okay, a limit. I have made a limit there. This area is known as the Andaman Sea. Now, I have marked here Dakshin Ganga. This is the third river from the south. This is Kaveri. This is Tungabhadra. This is Krishna river. This is also called Krishna river only. So this whole river is called the Krishna river. This is only the Tungabhadra. And this is Dakshin Ganga. Dakshin Ganga is also known as Godavari. Now, if you look at this river, rivers are to be marked in blue color or blue color with a blue color pencil. Okay. And it has to be leveled, okay, on the curve of the river. On the curve of the river, not under the curve of the river. Remember that. And above it, a little bit above it, okay. Now you have to go near the fourth river. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth river means it's basically Mahanadi. That time when we mark the northern circle. Below the Mahanadi, you have a certain point there. You can circle this, okay? You can make a dark area here, and you can label it with an arrow. You can write it down, Chilka Lake. Now I am doing the third map, that is called latitudes and longitudes. Latitudes and longitudes can be marked with a broken line or with a straight line. I have used a straight line. And it should be leveled in degrees. So whenever I am talking about degree, it is like this way, small degree. 23.5 degree north for latitudes, that is Tropic of Cancer. This is the Tropic of Cancer, and it is marked as 23.5 degrees north latitude. This is called the latitude, and this is called the longitude. So it is marked as 82.5 degree east for longitudes. It is known as standard meridian. This is known as Tropic of Cancer. Now how you are going to mark it? Now this line basically starts from here, but where you are going to find a point? Now let's look at the point. Now let me tell you, this is the area where you mark a point here. Then this is the area you mark a point, another point here, and this is another area where you mark another point here, and you label as this point as A, B, and C. Then you are going to find this point here. Where do you find this point? This area. Are you understanding? So how you are going to join this line? You are going to join this line in this way. Now you can see I have joined this line here at the tip of the river. This river is known as Narmada, and I have joined it up till here and made it a little bit circular. This line is known as Tropic of Cancer. So you are going to join the points of A to B, B to C, and here, okay, and here. So this is A, B, C, D. So this makes the Tropic of Cancer. Now you can see I have drawn like this way. I have drawn like this way up till here. So the touching point is here. To make a circular line for the Tropic of Cancer. So you have to mark 23.5 degrees north. For the standard meridian, now you have to find here. You have to go up here. Now, where you find this river? Can you find this river? This river is known as, okay, Chambal. Chambl, Chambal River, okay. This is known as Betua. This is known as Sun, okay. Now you have to find this river. Above this river you have Yamuna, and above this river you have Ganga. These two rivers, Yamuna and Ganga, comes here and meets here. This is the point where you mark A. You have to mark a point here. You have to mark a point here and mark A. And here, you have to go to the third river from the south. First river is Kaveri, second river is Krishna, and third river is Godavari. You have to find the point here, and you have to join these 2 points. These 2 points has to be joined in this way. So when you join this A and B, it gives you standard meridian, that is called 82.5 degree east.